I think the redistricting battle is something they're going to lose for a variety of reasons. First of all, Texas started. That's about 5 seats red. California will get about 5 seats blue. So those are basically off the table. North Carolina then could pick up 1. Indiana could pick up 1. Ohio could pick up 2. Missouri could pick up 1. These are all states. Virginia could switch a couple to the blue side. But now I'm hearing Florida might get in the game. That would be 5 to the Republicans. And then, of course, the Supreme Court decision on all of this racial gerrymandering would push about 12 seats to the Republicans. I mean, I guess I would say to my Democrat friends, careful what you wish for. What do you say, Congressman?
Well, you look at what's happening in California, Prop 50, the reasons why California is pushing this was, as you mentioned, to negate the 5 that Texas picked up. But what ought to be a wake-up call to every American is, in California, one, the illegal aliens that occupy that state is unbelievable. And secondly, 29% of the early vote came in before within a short period of time. And I guess thirdly, the amount of money Soros and others put in there dwarfed the campaign to not redraw the districts. We've got one here in South Carolina that we need to basically redraw because it's a fair thing to do. It's currently held by Jim Clyburn, who's been there 31 years. This isn't about Clyburn, it's about fairness, and hopefully we'll get that done.
Yeah, and so South Carolina is also on the board, and there you have it. Meanwhile, as you see the elections around the country, we talked about this in the break, and I wanted to touch on this. People that are in real estate in South Carolina are having a pretty good week. Apparently, the folks are flooding out of New York. They're flooding out of California. The blue states are flooding the red states. I just hope they leave their politics behind. What do you think?
Well, that's the problem we're having. Plus, the other problem South Carolina's having is the fact that our infrastructure is unbelievably terrible. Some of the roads and bridges ought to be condemned. We're not ready for the growth that we're having. But, what's not to like about South Carolina, and people are coming there, not just from New York, but Oregon, California. I see their tags everywhere I go in and around South Carolina. So they can't, in many cases, they bring to politics, and that's why they left the state that they left. So hopefully we'll keep control of that.
Yeah. I hope that that's true. Infrastructure is a concern all over this country, something we could address. If the government were open, of course, but it's not. What are we on, day 38? I've lost track here. It gets so ridiculous. In fact, the Democrats were talking about, all right, coming to the table and opening government. But then they had a pep rally yesterday, apparently, the Democrat senators. They're going to keep it closed longer. You've got SNAP recipients that they claim to care about. No food for those folks. You've got the TSA, the air traffic controllers, the military, and a host of others that haven't been paid in a month. Democrats claim to care about them. Look, it's a clean CR. It's a clean CR. Now, it's basically too late to make this CR work. It's a total mess now, day 38. What do you see from your perch?
Well, it shows you how unhinged they are. They don't care. Catherine Clark's comment about they care about those who are doing without food, women, children, but they don't care enough to stop this insanity. And I think the American people see through it. I think they'll keep doing it. And we're not giving in on borrowing $1.5 trillion to fund illegals to get on the government payrolls. It's just not going to happen. And Mike Johnson has done a good job of bringing us up to speed every week, and the Republicans are sticking tight. And, I know they're celebrating, Steve. New York never has been a mecca for conservatism anyway. New Jersey has never been a mecca for conservatism. Virginia, other than Glenn Youngkin being elected, which was a good thing. But I tell you, it's a wake-up call with the type candidates that are taking office, the pure Marxist socialists. The president calls them communists. That's what they are. And the sad part about it, like in New York, New Yorkers are going to have to put up with this for 4 long years. We've seen what 4 long years. I would say
this, though. I agree with you, but I would say this. There's a similarity between what Mamdani tied into and what Trump tied into, and that is people that felt disconnected, forgotten, unheard, unseen. Different kind of candidate, But when he talked about affordability for the entire race, did Mamdani, he connected with young people who feel like they can't afford an apartment, who can't get ahead, who work hard. Even people that do have good jobs feel like they're just on a treadmill. It's important for Republicans, I believe, to make sure they focus on economic issues going into 2026. I know that Donald Trump is doing that. I know those are some of the things you want to do. It's important. So the last question I have for you is this. On day 38 of the shutdown, what about the filibuster? I know it's not your side of the House, but what about the filibuster? Is it time for it to go?
You know, at first I said no. The fact that it's not been used. If it wasn't for Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, it would have been broken before. The Democrats will use it once they come into power, and hopefully that's not for a long time. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes for another week and see what happens. And it just shows you, though, the only thing that, and you mentioned this earlier, power. Power is the only thing they recognize. And the problem, the fact that affordability, they're saying let's have total government control of our supermarkets, our gas stations. How does that work for the post office? It hasn't. A government-run health care at every level. So, Republicans can get together and hopefully get a health care bill that makes sense. But look at Donald Trump has done so many great things, and they bring up affordability, which it is a problem all over, but he's done so many great things. The Democrats are the reason we've got unaffordable housing and so many other affordable things.